top of Hiroshima City Hospital in Hiroshima. I am sitting right in front of the elevators at the seats that they have here. You can sit here and look out the window. They've got some seats over there too. Right now there's nobody inside, and I wanted to start off sitting here because it was a little windy outside, and I knew that would probably mess with the microphone. Let me show you the view by switching the camera. As you can see, the sun is starting to descend over there. There's a nice skyscraper in the way, so it's kind of blocking the sun right now. But right over there in this area, you'll see Sogo, and the main shopping center is Pasella, and further down the road is Hondori. Main shopping areas, very famous areas. I'll go out there in just a second and also show you the other side. In the opposite direction is Hiroshima Castle and Gokucho, is that right? Shrine. Okay. Hello. I see one person who stopped in to say hello. Basically, what I'm going to do is just two main things. I'm going to give you an update about my last day here. This is my last full day in the hospital. Tomorrow morning, I'll be discharged finally. It doesn't mean that I'm recovered. It just means that the doctor believes that I'm well enough to go home. And mostly I agree with him. I can't just stay here forever. It has been quite an expensive situation for me to be here, even with the health insurance, which in Japan does pay a lot of your expense. Plus there's a limit to how much they can charge you for your medical expenses within 1 month. And when I got my bill, I thought, wow, is that with or without the limit? And the limit is included. So even though the amount is ridiculously high, I'm sure that it would have been at least 10 times higher in America to pay for this hospitalization, because as of today, well, actually, as of tomorrow, the total time that I will have been in the hospital is, let's see, 43, about 46 or 47 days in total. So I've been here in this hospital for almost 50 days. And it's possible I could have gone home today or yesterday, but I had ordered a couple of things from online, and I needed them quickly, so I had them sent here, but unfortunately they were delayed. And when I mentioned this to the doctor, and he said, that's no problem. He said, just stay till Friday. You can stay and have a couple of extra days to recover, get your strength back, and if everything is all good, then Friday morning you can go. So here we are. It's Thursday afternoon, and I'm really looking forward to getting out of here. Hey, Philippe, thank you for stopping in. I do appreciate it. I waited until now to do this because I looked at some of the other streamers who were doing their videos, and it seemed like during this time, nobody was really busy. And so that way I wouldn't really interfere with anyone else's live stream. I wanted to kind of do it in the middle somewhere. I believe at 4 o'clock, Daniel and Yuka have a live stream, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see one for Lemmy, and I was able to drop in on Emmy's live stream just a little bit earlier today, but I was a little busy. And yes, it is good news. Thank you very much. Hi, John Paul. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. And oh, Garfield, cool. Nice to see you. Thank you. And signal sketchy. Yeah, I completely understand that. Even though my room is on the 8th floor, there's still the 9th floor, the roof, and another structure above that here at the hospital. So even though my room is on the 8th floor, it's still a terrible connection. I don't really know why. Occasionally when I'm on the roof, even outside, the signal just suddenly drops down to almost nothing. I think Docomo is messing with me, but I completely understand. In just a moment, I'll give you guys just a really quick update on the status of my health condition and kind of like what I'm going to have to be doing over the next couple of several weeks to several months, I suppose you could say. And also, there's a big important update about my residency, and I'll share that with you also because that was a big issue. But the important thing is that I learned a couple of things. One is that if you have an issue with immigration and they have a policy about that specific thing, and that policy is inflexible, then essentially they're not going to be able to do anything for you. And the unfortunate thing is that my experience so far is that some of the people don't really care. Even if you try to explain your situation, they don't try to show you empathy or sympathy, even though they're telling you there's nothing I can do, my hands are tied, that's the policy, that's the law, we can't bend it or go around it, we have to follow it. I understand that, but what I don't understand is I've been living in Asia for almost 11 years, with 4 of those in Japan and 7 of those in China. And when they talk to me, they act like I'm just some 23-year-old kid who came over here and then suddenly had a health issue. And they say, why don't you just go back to your family and get support from your family? Why don't you just go back and to your home? I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? This is my home. I have a house here. I have a car here. I've been living abroad for 11 years. You know, I don't have a home to go back to, and I'm not close to my family. I wish I could be close to my family, but I've literally spent decades trying to have good relations, or at least decent relations with my blood family, and it's just not possible. So that's a big reason why I'm here. So whenever the immigration says, just go home, well, to me, home is here in Hiroshima, in Higashi Hiroshima, East Hiroshima, where my house is, and this area here, this is my home. So when they tell me that, I think it's just foolish, ignorant, unsympathetic, and uncaring. So that's the thing I hate dealing with. However, there's a flip side of the coin that if you're lucky, then it can work out for you, and that is the company or the school or whoever it is that is sponsoring your visa, there's a much higher chance that they'll be willing to be flexible or work something out with you in order to solve your residency issue. And that's basically what happened with me. The school came to talk to me, and we were able to work some things out. But before we get into that, I do want to take you outside and show you around on the roof here. So let's do that first. I think that'll be, let me grab my bag. We have to go over here to the sliding door. Now I'm going to warn you right quick, it's a little windy outside, I think. So there might be some microphone noise. Yeah, I can already hear the wind. I won't stay out here because it seems windy. I just want to kind of show you around. So I apologize. Originally I ordered some microphones that I could use, and those came with the wind buffers, but it didn't arrive. I'm still waiting for it to arrive. It was supposed to arrive today, a few hours ago, but it says it's still out for delivery, so unfortunately I don't have it, and so here we are. But anyway, I'm going to walk over here and show you. This is one side. Originally my first room was over on this side, and so from my bedroom window this was my view. And like I said, right down here in this big white building, that's Sogo. Sogo is a multi-floor shopping center. The Pokemon Center is in there, and a bunch of other shopping and places to eat and stuff like that. Right next to it, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little plaza right there, And further inside, there's another tall building, and that's Pasella, and tons of places to go shopping. All of those expensive places that where you buy makeup and clothes and stuff like that, and handbags. It's that type of place. So it's probably the number one place, if not in the top 2 or 3 places to go buy higher end and nicer stuff in Hiroshima. Plus, they've got some nice places to eat. And during the holidays, especially during the winter holidays, they've got really cool decorations and Christmas lights out here in the front. In this plaza, they will have a really cool Christmas tree. So, anyway, further down the street, if you keep going down the street and further that way, you get to Hondori. If any of you are familiar at all with Hiroshima, or maybe you've been here before, or if you've heard of it, that's probably the main area that you would want to go to and visit inside the city. But I mean, this is a cool view, but you know, my bed, my room that I was staying in the hospital, this was my view for several days, and I just kept wishing that my room was on the other side of the building. And the reason is because the park and the castle are over there, and I thought that would be much better for me. And it just so happens that they came to me shortly after I was thinking about that and said, hey, would you like us to move your room to the other side? And I didn't say anything to them. They just came to me. It was like they were reading my mind, and they said, there's an empty room over there. Would you like us to roll you over there? And I said, sure, that would be great. And so they put me on the other side, so my view changed, and I'll try to show it to you as best I can, because there's actually grass on the other side. I can't walk right up to the gate or the bars like I can on this side, but let me turn the camera back around. That's where we came out right there just now, and you can see there's another floor, some kind of another like a 10th floor on top of that building here, on top of the roof. But anyway, I don't want to record this lady because I want to be polite. Just record myself. Okay, I can turn it back around now. Okay, so on the roof here, they have this area where you can come outside and just sit down on one of these many benches and relax. There's one guy out here now, but we won't bother him. You can see the sun up here starting to go down. And first we'll walk over here to the end, because this is the only other spot we can actually get right up to the fence. This is the other side I was talking about. From here, you can see right there is the castle. That's Hiroshima Castle. And this whole area of greenery out here, I'm not talking about right here on the roof, but out there around the castle, that's the park. And right over here is where the shrine is. But first, let's walk over here. I'll show you a couple of things you may not have seen at all. There are a few things over here that are interesting. Unfortunately, you can't see the A-bomb dome from here because this hotel. I'm gonna set this down. That way I can get my phone in my hand through the bars. There we go. Okay, this hotel right here is in the way. If none of these tall buildings were here, we could probably see the A-bomb dome because it's through there that way. And on the other side of that is the Peace Park. But right here, this is actually very beautiful right now because of the color change. I'll try to hold the camera as still as possible and kind of scroll from left to right so you can see, and then I'll explain to you quickly what these places are. Yeah, and actually if I turn this all the way around, maybe you can see the castle over there. Maybe, I'm not sure. It's hard for me. From here I can hold the camera, but I can't actually see what's on the screen. I just have to guess. I did take a picture the other day, and it seems like I could get the castle. But anyway,
right down here, this whole area, this whole building here, this is a museum of art. I've been here before. It's a really cool place where you have this building on the outside, and then there's like a courtyard on the inside, and there's a circular art gallery in the middle. So when you go here, you just go in this door, and then you walk around from room to room, and there's a big circular room in the middle. Sometimes they have events there. When I went there a couple of years ago, they had some people playing Christmas music and other classical pieces of music in the middle. So while you're walking around looking at art, you could be listening to some beautiful music. It's really nice. But if you ever come to Hiroshima Castle, it's within walking distance, because there's the park. There's the park right over there, and the castle, and you can walk right over here to the museum. Right over here is a sports center. That's actually where I had to take my katana. When I found the old World War II katana at my house, and they told me where to take it to get it inspected, it was here. It's something they only do once or twice a year, and they just rent out some of the space to do that. So I showed up here, and I took my katana in there to have them look at it. But you can go here to do sports leagues and stuff and independent things. You know, I'm not sure if they actually have any big events there, but sorry about that. You can hear the sirens. Yeah, it's an ambulance. That's another thing about being here at the hospital, is that you'll hear a lot of ambulances coming and going for obvious reasons. But anyway, yeah, sports center. But this building here is one you may not have seen at all anywhere. Like I think one of you mentioned like anime, Garfield. Yeah, you said only see this area in J-drama before. This is probably one you haven't even seen in any Japanese dramas yet, because they're still building it. You see this building here? Do you know what that is? Can anyone guess what that is? I'll give you about 10 seconds or 15 seconds or so, and then I'll come back and tell you. But this area right here, where all these cars are, it's like a parking area that you can go, and whenever you park here, then you can walk into the park, go into the parking, park, go into the park. English is great. And go to visit the shrine and visit the castle. Yeah, yeah, there, I can see it right there. There's the castle right there. You can barely see it from here. Yep. And then right up here in the corner, this is where the shrine is. So you can actually drive here and park, and then go into the gate here. You can go inside for free, and you can go up to the shrine for free. But if you want to go inside the castle, you have to pay to go inside. But you can walk around the park and go around it and do all that for free. Okay, time is up. What is this building right here? Well, this is the new soccer stadium. So they actually have a soccer team here called Sanfrecce, and I'm surprised, but there are actually a lot of soccer fans around here. And this is the new stadium that they're working on. You can see some of the machines and stuff. I don't know if I can zoom. Oh yeah, wow, I didn't know that. Well, maybe right there. Okay, there we go. Excellent. So you can see that they're still working on it, and it's under construction, but from what I'm told, it should be open next year, or if not, early 2025. So that's pretty cool. But now that we're zoomed in, you can see a better look at the sports center right there. And then, of course, right here, the Museum of Art, which is right across the street from the hospital where I'm at. Now, there's another building right down there. And I can probably zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, right there, the one with the dome on it. I'm supposed to know what this building is, but I absolutely can't remember. So I apologize for that. If I could look on a map right now, I could tell you, but it escapes my memory. I'm drawing a blank. Maybe somebody who's watching will know. Hey, let's see here. Still underground in a sardine can. No signal. Oh, it's all right, man. I understand. Just you can check it out. If you miss anything, you can check it out later. Found in Japan. Glad to see you up and cheerful. Thank you very much. Yeah, I do feel pretty good. Um, like I said earlier, I could have gone home either today or yesterday, but because I was waiting on a couple of things to be delivered to the hospital, the doctor was more than happy to give me some extra time to relax here and recover. The good thing is that tomorrow, after I'm checked out, I'm going to go to a cafe and watch an Astros baseball game. The Astros won today, so yeah. I got my Houston Astros hat on right now. I'm an Astros fan. I don't know if any of you watch MLB baseball, but they had a game 3 today, and I was able to watch that, and they won, so I'm happy. They have another game tomorrow, and the cool thing is I'll be able to watch about half of that game outside of the hospital. So when I get discharged, I will grab my things, go to a cafe somewhere, sit down, watch the rest of that game, and later in the afternoon, after I go to the shrine, because that's what I wanted to try to show you if possible, is get a zoomed up picture of the shrine here. I'm going to do my best to get it for you, but tomorrow when I get discharged, the very first thing I want to do is go over to the shrine and pray and show some gratitude for, you know, still being around, still being alive, getting my health back. Like I said before, I'm not recovered, I'm not better, but I mean, I am better, but I'm not completely better. However, the way I felt a month ago compared to now is night and day. I can show you a couple of things here. I need to pull these back up. These keep coming down because they're so small on me. I just ordered some more. These are compression socks. I had to order some more because even though these are the biggest I could find last time, they still keep sliding down my leg when I'm walking around. But this foot here is still swollen, and this whole leg. So my entire left leg and left foot is swollen. It's not as bad as it was before, but it's still so big it won't fit in my shoe. So the shoes that I have here at the hospital are too small. I can barely get this foot because this one is just a little swollen, but not too bad. This one is really bad. So I'm wearing these ridiculously large Crocs. These things are too big even for me, but right now it fits my left foot almost perfectly, but you can see how much bigger it is on my right foot. Can you see that? Isn't that ridiculous? You can see how much more swollen my left foot is than my right foot because there's almost no room in this shoe, right? But in this shoe, look how much room there is. Pretty insane. That should give you the perfect idea of just how swollen my left foot and my left leg is. I don't know how much you can see it on the video, but this leg is much bigger than this one, and the skin is so tight, my flexibility is limited. So I can't bend my leg all the way up, and I can't lift my foot very easily. It hurts because it's so tight. This leg mostly is no problem. I can swing it around and twirl my foot around. It's okay. But this one, it's painful and tight, difficult to move around, and I can't bend it very far. And so, you know, squatting down is not really that possible. It's difficult for me right now. So you can see I've still got a ways to go before I recover. Let's see, I got a few comments here. Oh, let me get you a better... Turn this around. Okay. 5 Days Children's Cultural Science Museum is the building with the round top. Ah, okay. Thank you. I appreciate you doing that for me. If I try to look that up on this phone while I'm talking to you guys, it will just like close out the live stream like I'm offline or something. It doesn't allow me to do other things while I'm doing the live stream, so I don't have the ability to look it up and do this at the same time. Cool. Yeah, get well soon. Thank you very much. Recycling? Recycling IK? Is that right? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Before I give you the next bit of information, I want to try to turn the camera around and see if we can get a better shot of the shrine. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, first of all, I told you this is the parking lot, right? If you want to enter from this side, if you want to enter the park from this side, then you go across this bridge, you go through this gate, it's free, there's no charge, and then you walk around, turn to the left, go through another gate, go up the steps, and then you'll go down a path until you get to the shrine. This is where the shrine is at. And in this area, they have a few things, of course, besides the shrine and the shrine related stuff, and prayer plaques and things like that. They also have a thing over here on the right. Let's see if yeah, I don't know if I can reach that far. We'll try. Over here on the right, around this building here, they usually have a stand that has like some ice cream that's very delicious, and they have some drinks and other things like that. And then if you go up from there, you can walk over to the castle, and the castle is on the other side of the park. Of course, this is called Carp Castle because all around the park you see that there's water, right? This is like a moat. This moat goes all the way around the park, and there are tons of carp in the moat. And so that's how basically it got its name, its nickname as Carp Castle. Coffee Sniffer says, I'm so glad you have finally a discharge date. When is it? Good question. My discharge date is tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So let me turn the camera around here. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock is my official discharge time, but here's my itinerary for tomorrow. In the morning, maybe around 9 o'clock or so, they will bring me my discharge papers and my bill. Last night I actually found out what the amount is of my bill. Like I said before, I've spent nearly 50 days, about a month and a half in the hospital, basically, and my total was almost 200,000 yen. So that's a lot of money for me to pay right now. So tomorrow morning, one of the things that I'll do when I check out or get discharged is speak with them about paying them on a payment plan. I don't know exactly what that's going to be, how much it's going to be each month, or how many months it will be, but they said they're very flexible, and I could talk to them about it tomorrow. So I mean, it's a lot of money I wasn't planning on paying, and it's not like I just have it lying around, but at least I can pay it over a period of time, and hopefully it'll work out okay. But at least I'm able to do it. That I needed to be at the hospital. If I hadn't been able to come to the hospital, then I wouldn't be here, because that's how bad I was. I barely got to the hospital in time. For those of you who don't know what the problem was, I had leg clots in my left leg, and they got really, really bad. And if I had waited any longer, I probably wouldn't be here. So yeah, lucky. Let's take a quick look from this angle. Let's see if we can see the park. It's going to be kind of hard maybe to see through the bars, but we'll try to take a look. Yeah, there's the castle and the shrine right through there. And you can see there are lots and lots of trees out here. Yeah, this area, the park and everything, it's literally a big square with the moat, the water around it, and all the carp. It's a beautiful, lovely place to walk around. I love to go here. Anytime I'm in the city, I like to go here. And you can see why I wanted my room to be on this side so I can have the better view of the park instead of just looking at the shopping buildings in the business district all the time. Okay. All right. So, yeah, fingers crossed. Okay. Really quickly. Here's the health issue is basically the medicine that they're giving me. There are two main medicines they're giving me. One is just for pain. They're giving me pain medication, and it's going to be take as needed. I was in such pain when I arrived at the hospital that they had to give me pain medicine through the IV constantly. And that basically kept me groggy, sleepy, but it kept my pain down so that I could actually rest, relax, and get to sleep. Otherwise, I couldn't sleep. Over a period of a few days, as the medicine took effect to help relieve my leg situation, the blood thinners, they started to take me off of the IV pain medicine and give me tablets. And they gave me two different types of medicine. In the beginning, they started me off with a medium dose 3 times a day. But that wasn't enough. I was waking up at night in pain and I couldn't go back to sleep. So they increased the dosage. So I was still taking it 3 times a day, but they increased the dosage. That still wasn't enough. So they increased it again to 4 times a day. So I was taking the maximum dosage 4 times a day just to get by. I mean, I was looking forward to taking my pain medicine 4 times a day. I mean, it was really needed. But as I got better, at first it was kind of like a roller coaster. I got better pretty quickly. I would say after about 5 or 6 days, I suddenly started to get better kind of quickly, and then went completely down. And it went right back to lots of pain, and it was like I went backwards. And it just so happens that at that time I also got a really bad phone call from my sister. The same day that I started feeling really bad, she yelled at me on the phone. That's my family, great loving family. But anyway, from there I began to improve again, and I got to where, I was like, hey, I don't think I need so much pain medicine. So I was able to start cutting back. And what I do right now is, in the morning when I get up, I take a little bit of acetaminophen, just a little bit, to kind of help me get going, and to help with the soreness, because when I first start moving in the early part of the day, it hurts. It's just sore and stiff. But I don't want to be sleepy, so I take acetaminophen. But I don't take anything all day long. And in the evening, about an hour or two before I go to bed, I take the other type of pain medicine. I forget the name of it, but basically it makes me sleepy and groggy. So it helps me to go to sleep and stay asleep. So yes, that's what I've been doing. And they're going to give me those medicines and let me take them home. And they basically said, if you need them, just take them. If you don't take them. And I'm not a big fan of pain meds. Yeah, like coffee sniffer, you said, yeah, too many meds are also bad for the kidneys. I agree. But the other thing is, and I guess this is good for me, I don't like taking medicine. I don't like the way it makes me feel. And I know that some people get addicted to painkillers, and I understand how they could do that, because I can get it. If it makes you feel much better than you normally feel, I can understand how you can become addicted to that, and all of those things. But for some reason, it's kind of like drinking alcohol for me. I can drink a lot of alcohol, just like I could take a lot of painkillers, but for some reason, it just gives me a headache. And I'm not talking about like a hangover. It's just like my body doesn't like it. I'm sensitive to a lot of things, like strong smells and strong lights. That's why even on cloudy days or rainy days, sometimes I'll be wearing sunglasses. Right now, it's later in the evening. It's very, very cloudy. The sun is blocked by the building and the clouds, so it's no problem. I'm wearing my reading glasses so I can see if anybody says something on the screen, but if I'm out and about during the day, I typically have sunglasses on. And it's because the light hurts my eyes. I don't like the smell of newspapers. There are a lot of smells that I don't like because it gives me a headache. So my body is just naturally sensitive in the senses to a lot of things. And so one of those happens to be drugs, and I just don't like them. But anyway, they're going to give me that stuff when I leave tomorrow. And the one medicine that I absolutely must have for a while is going to be the blood clots. It's called anticoagulant, and basically what it means is it keeps my blood thinner. It keeps my blood from clotting. So over time, it's supposed to allow my veins and such to kind of um, clear out and take away the risk of clotting, and me having another trip back to the hospital with a painful leg and possible clot. So those things should be blocked. It's very windy. I don't know how good the audio is, but I'm going to walk over here. If nobody's inside, I'll finish this video inside because I want to tell you real quick about my residency situation, because that was the other big deal. One was my health, the other was my residency, and I think this is great news. It's still okay? You guys aren't hearing any of this wind because it is blowing all around right now. If it's not, that's excellent. That's really cool. Sound is okay. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Because I really like it out here. The wind is blowing, but it feels nice. And like I said, I like being out here. It's a beautiful view. Let me turn the camera around right quick. You can see the beautiful rays of sunlight coming through the clouds there. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's really nice. But anyway, so as far as my health is concerned, there's no way to know if it's going to take a few weeks or a few months or even a few years for my leg to completely recover. According to what I've learned, it's likely that my leg will never fully, completely be like it was before. There should always, probably, there will always be at least a little bit of swelling. And so if I'm really lucky, then it will completely heal and everything will repair, and then it will kind of get back to normal. But I just from what I've read online and what I've been told, I shouldn't expect that. I should expect at least a little bit of swelling and that sort of thing. So that's unfortunate. It's going to make it a little difficult to buy shoes if my feet aren't the same size. That's kind of ridiculous. But the good thing is that it is healable, but it's just going to take a little time. Now, everything that I mentioned to you before about my residency, because I was supposed to start school a few days ago. My school started last Monday, and my residency right now, my residency status is student. And so my residency in Japan is dependent upon me being a student here. And if I don't go to school, then I basically lose my residency. And not only that, I will lose my health insurance and any of my support. And for those of you who might not know this, I was already off work on medical support. In other words, I was getting a portion of my salary paid to me each month through my health insurance to stay home and recover. It's not much, but it's my primary income. And without that income, I would have almost nothing. And the reason I was getting that is because I have a kidney cancer tumor. It's just been sticking around. It hasn't been getting bigger, which is good, but it hasn't been getting smaller either. It's just there, and it's been there since, as far as I know, since at least the beginning of last year, and it's really been causing me some different issues, and that's why I was on medical leave. So this leg clot that came up was a total surprise, and I had no idea that this would just come up out of nowhere. So the leg clot issue and the kidney tumor, now these are two major health issues that I have to get over. But because it shut me down and put me in the hospital, I wasn't able to go to school, and it was threatening my residency. The immigration office, which is right over that way somewhere, we went over there just a couple of weeks ago. My counselor wheeled me over there. I walked a little bit, but I was too tired to make it all the way, so she had to push me in the wheelchair. And we went over there to talk with the officials, and like I said before, they weren't sympathetic, they weren't empathetic. They said, this is the law, there's nothing we can do. You have to leave the country or you have to go to school. Those are your only two options. And the school was actually kind enough to come from Onamichi, where the school is located, all the way over here to the city, Hiroshima city. And by train, that takes over an hour and a half to get over here, maybe even 2 hours. It depends on traffic and stuff like that. But that's in east Hiroshima. That's way over there. So from my house it's an hour drive, but from Hiroshima city it's even further than that. So they came all the way over here just to talk to me face to face in the hospital and try to work out this situation. And that in itself is already so much more than what the immigration department was willing to do for me. And they just came here 2 days ago. Okay, so this is new news. I have not posted this. I'm telling you now for the first time. So Tuesday, when they came over here, we had a meeting. I sat down. 3 of them came over. It wasn't just one. It was like the manager, another supervisor that represents not just the manager of the school, the local school, but another supervisor who represents the company, plus a translator. And they sat down with me and my hospital counselor. So the 5 of us sat down and we talked about the situation, and they answered all my questions. And basically what they said was, look, obviously you have to be enrolled in school in order to have your residency, and you're not technically enrolled yet because you haven't paid your admission fee, your first tuition fee, and application fees and all of that. But if you'll pay those things, then you will be officially enrolled in the school. At that point, we can turn in a medical leave form, which they brought with them. They had printed it out and showed it to me, and it's a medical leave form that you can take. If any of you are in school in Japan or thinking about coming to school in Japan, this might be a benefit to you, because if something happens to you, you need to take some time off, even if it's a short time, or I mean, it could be a week, it could be much longer than that. But it's very important that you don't miss your classes, because if you miss classes, then the school reports that to the immigration, and that can hurt your status, your residency status. So of course you don't want to miss school. However, if you notify the school and you fill out the medical leave form, then they will submit it to the immigration office, and this will give you up to 90 days, up to 3 months off to pursue medical treatment and to recover before going back to school. So imagine that. You can take off up to 3 months by law. This is the law here. So that through the school, now the school has to do this. You have to fill out that and give it to the school. The school then sends it to immigration to let them know you're off on medical leave. And by law, they have to give you up to 90 days to recover. And beyond that, you'd be in trouble. You'd have to do something. You'd either have to go back to school, or you'd have to exit or change your residency status or something. But anyway, so that was the first thing. When I found that out, that was great. That just means that all I have to do is pay my entry fee, my application fee, and my first round of tuition, and then I don't have to worry about my residency. And because I still have my residency, that means I also keep my insurance and I keep my monthly support. So residency and financial issue, health insurance, medicine, all of that. It fixes all of that. Okay, I want to see what you guys are saying. How kind of them. Yes, it is. And that they came this far and talked with me, that was great. Very considerate. Yes. Sounds perfect, Brandon. Yes, it's the best I could hope for in this situation. Philippe, the bureaucrats didn't tell you any of this. Absolutely not. Not at all. And that's one of the things that gets me. And of course, I've had similar experiences with government offices in America, so I'm not saying this is a Japan only problem, but I will say that often when I'm dealing with the higher level government offices, they don't tell you a lot of stuff like that. And it's similar to my experience with companies here, okay? Because I've worked with two different education related companies in Japan. One of those was like Akiya, a not Japanese, English language school, a big English language school in Japan. And the second one was what's called I guess you could just call it a staffing agency. They provide teachers for elementary, primary school, middle school, and high school throughout Japan. Both of those companies shared something in common, okay? That is that the people that work higher up in the company, their interest is for the company. That's the company's primary interest. They just want teachers to be in the classrooms, and they want to make that money. They don't care if you're sick. They'll say, oh, well, we're sorry you're sick. Are you going to be there tomorrow? That's literally what they do. If they contact you, it's not because they're checking on you. It's because they want to know if you're going to go back to school tomorrow. And if you're not, when are you going to go back to school? I mean, when I first told them that I had been diagnosed with a large cancer tumor, and then shortly after that, I was at the school and I went to the toilet, and so much blood came out that I had to actually clean it up. It wasn't something I could just flush. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But even more than that, it was scary, and I had to clean that up. And luckily, none of the other men or students came into that bathroom at that time that happened. So I was very lucky that I didn't get really embarrassed by that. But I was already scared and shocked to see that, and then to get a diagnosis of cancer and tell my company about this, and they were basically like, oh, that sounds terrible. Are you going to be able to go to school? Are you going to be able to go there tomorrow? And then when I did tell them that I needed to take off of work, it took more than half a year for me to get on medical leave and actually go home and rest. I continued to work for more than half a year. It was like May when all of that bad stuff happened. And it wasn't until December that I was able to go on medical leave and stay home and start to recover. And during that time, I struggled because the edema, the anemia that I had, going to the school, going up and down the stairs, I mean, it was torture. It was absolute torture for me. So for any of you who struggled with anemia or any organ problems, I completely sympathize with you. I'm sure you can completely understand what it's like to have no energy, to not be able to breathe, to not get enough oxygen, to be in pain. And you don't even if you're lying in bed, just getting out of bed to go to the bathroom, you don't even want to do that. Some days you feel so terrible that you're just like, I just wish I could lie here and just pee right here. I don't even want to get up and go to the toilet because it's so painful and tiresome just to go to the toilet. And I was in this condition, and the school, the company, not the school, the company that I was working for was still like, well, you're still going to go to work next week, right? That's what I had to deal with for more than 6 months before I finally got to go on medical leave. Whoops, I hit the wrong button there. I want to see your comments. The bureaucrats didn't tell you any of this. Oh yeah, I read that one. That's right. They didn't. Just like the company, the bureaucrats here at the immigration office are the same way. If they know it or not, it doesn't matter. If they know it, they're not going to just offer you the information. You're going to have to go find it yourself because they don't really care. They, at least the ones that I've talked to here. Municipal government people have been completely different to me. They've been so helpful and so nice to me. They seem much more people-oriented than the main government offices. When you start dealing with some of the people at the higher government offices, it's like they hire sociopaths or narcissists or something, people that just don't have any empathy at all. And a lot of the companies that I've dealt with here are the same. Coffee Sniffer, hard times, Brandon, my prayers are with you. So glad that you keep your positive vibe alive. Thank you, man. And listen, I really do appreciate you mentioning that. Honestly, I have to say that I've been upset with myself for several reasons, and I realized last weekend, before I even talked to the school, what I thought I would have to do in order to resolve all this, and it wasn't easy to come to that realization. But one of the things that's really been in my face and bothering me is that I just I haven't been who I really am. You know, I haven't been the energetic, positive person that most of the people that are really close to me, my really close friends, the people that really know me, the people that knew me back in high school and when I was a kid and stuff, you know, everybody said that I was just crazy fun guy and I would do anything, you know, and that was me. I was going to be an actor when I was younger. I used to do everything. Me and my friends had video cameras, and I was the one that got us into shooting skits and stuff. You know, a friend of mine had a video camera, and I said, hey, why don't we make a movie or something, or a comedy? And he was like, what are you talking about? But because of that, me and all of my friends around me in high school, that's basically what we did every weekend. We would get together and we would either play Dungeons and Dragons, or we would play Street Fighter 2 whenever that came out, or we would take the camera and we would just make tons of videos. We made music videos, we made sketch comedies, we made talk shows, you know, you name it, we shot it. We did everything. We made so many hundreds and hundreds of hours of fun stuff, and everybody was just like, you know, you need to be an actor, you need to go into acting. And I thought I would. I thought that was my dream. But when we started playing Dungeons and Dragons, I realized that I liked to create the stories a lot more, because for those of you who've created stories, or maybe for those of you even who've played games like Dungeons and Dragons, if you're a player, you can be your character and you can role play your character, and that's fun. But number one, you don't control the story, okay? Number two, you're limited to playing one character. But if you're the storyteller, the creator, like the dungeon master, then it's unlimited what you can create. The characters that you can create, the accents that you can do, the moments and the scenes that you can lay out for everyone. And I decided, man, I love movies and I want to get into videos and stuff like that, but I really want to be like the director. I want to be the guy who creates it, you know, not as much the guy who is just starring in it. But over the years, because so many things happened that just got me down, or I allowed to get me down. I had a I don't want to oversell it or undersell it, but I did have a bad childhood, and those relationships with my family just continue to be bad forever. Okay, that's just the truth of it. But then I had an early marriage because I was lonely, and I got involved with a woman that I should have never even dated. But from the time we met to the time we got married was really, really short. And it was a terrible marriage. I got abused even more. I went into a very, very deep depression. It almost killed me. I had my daughter, but she was taken away from me. My wife, whenever she divorced me behind my back, she took my daughter away. That broke my heart. I had a complete emotional breakdown, and for about a year and a half, I was no good. But I decided finally, you know what? forget this. I want out of here. So I went back to school. I finished my degree. I went to China and I started working and teaching there. I got my first girlfriend there, and we had a good relationship for a while, but didn't quite work out. Then I got another girlfriend. We were together for like 3 years, and I thought we'd get married and move to Japan. I thought that would be great. And that relationship wasn't perfect, but it was much better. So each relationship I had just seemed to get better and better and better. And now here I am, the country that I always wanted to be in, which is Japan. This was my goal. It took me years. I mean, I started my path to Japan. I guess you could say officially in 2009, because in 2007 is when my wife left and I went through that tragic time. In 2009, I went back to university. So from 2009 until about almost 4 years ago, that's how long it took me. About 10 years. Think about it. It took about 10 years for me to go back to school, get my degree, move to China, work my way up, save some money, get over here. And I arrived with just under $20,000 saved up. And as soon as I got here, that's when the pandemic started. My job disappeared, and I had to spend all my money just to support myself. And I was still sending money to my daughter every month. And in the end, my daughter turned on me. So when I ran out of money and I couldn't send her money anymore, she just wrote me off and she started making YouTube videos bashing me. And but it's so strange, because it's like I wasn't meant to have any loving relationships with my close blood family back then, in this life rather. So my ex-wife, my daughter, my mom and my dad, my brother, my sister, it's like they were just all on me. But luckily I do have some extended family, like uncles, aunts, cousins, and such, that have stepped up and reached out to me and expressed their love and support for me, and even sent me some money. That's something that my family never does. I mean, my dad keeps his whole life, even now when I went in the hospital, he said he would help me out. Where's he been? He hasn't sent me so much as a nickel. He hasn't called me. He says, I just wanted to check on you. He leaves me a message on Facebook and will say, you can call me. I don't want to call him. All he does is say negative things. And like I said before, I would love to be close to them, but it's just not possible. But now I have a girlfriend here, a Japanese girlfriend, and she and I were talking earlier today about doing some live streams, because I'm really enjoying seeing my friends get more and more success in Tokyo with their live streams. And even Coffee Sniffer, I'm glad to see that you're your live streams. That's a city and an area that I've really been wanting to get to. Speaking of that, you said hard times. Yeah, okay, I read that one. I like the point of view, and I'm one of the persons who want to be always in the creation part. Hopefully I am. Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you really want that, I believe that you can have it, and you will be. So, I think we can both be successful. We can all be successful in helping each other and supporting each other. We can be successful. But the cool thing is, for me right now, not only is the residency thing solved, but the school told me that when I get out of here and I go home, I don't have to come back to school as soon as possible, because whenever I do cut back, whether it's 2 weeks later or 2 months later, whenever I can come back, they said that they will put me in a level that's suitable for me. So whether it's very low or mid-level or whatever, they will put me in with the right class. So I don't have to worry about trying to catch up. Not catch up. I don't have to worry about trying to catch up to the other class members. They'll just put me in where I fit best. And so I don't have to worry about, getting behind or anything. And that was a big concern of mine, but it's worked out. And I'm really, really thankful and happy about that. So that's one of the big reasons why when I get out of here tomorrow, the very first thing I'm going to do is go right down here to the shrine, my favorite shrine in Hiroshima, and pray and just show some gratitude. And Yeah, you're welcome, Coffee Sniffer. Yeah, I appreciate you and all of your positive comments and support. And like I mentioned before, earlier today, I did talk with my girlfriend. We've been together now for over 5 months, and um, you know we've gotten pretty close pretty fast, and I think that it is going in a very solid, permanent direction. That's the way I feel about it right now, and she feels the same way. And just while we were chatting earlier today when she was on break, I said, "Hey, how would you feel about doing some live streams with me, going to some places here in Hiroshima and around the area, and just introducing some of those to people, some places and sites and shopping and food and things like that." And she said, um, "What would you like me to do?" So she's interested in that, and then she started making suggestions. And the first suggestion she made just happened to be the shrine right over there. So I thought that was pretty cool. She told me long ago she went there to pray for her first child, and shortly after she was able to have a child. She has one daughter who's kind of young. So uh, anyway, uh, okay. I think I shared all of the big news that I wanted to share. If any of you guys have any comments or questions, I'm pleased to take those. Coffee Sniffer says, "So nice to meet you." And dear Lemmy, yeah, actually, Lemmy-chan, she and I met at a movie get together in Tokyo, like right before the pandemic took off, and then all of those meetings just went online. Everything shut down, and I lost my job, and I was kind of jobless for a while. And eventually, I had to leave Tokyo. After a year, I had to leave Tokyo. I couldn't afford to stay here, and I finally got a teaching job in East Hiroshima, and that's the whole reason I moved over here. But everything happens for a reason, and I can tell you that I do miss my friends in Tokyo, and I miss Tokyo City. But living here, I much prefer to live here. I like the idea of building my business and making more money, and then traveling whenever I want to. That way, when I feel like it, I can go visit my friends in Tokyo and go and stay in Tokyo whenever. But for just living and being able to relax and have a more comfortable environment, Hiroshima is definitely the best. She sounds like a wonderful woman. Yeah, Philippe, she really does, and she is. I'm. I met earlier this year. I met several different ladies, and I went out on a few different dates. And it's funny because like three different ladies popped up at the same time and wanted to go out, and just suddenly, all at the same time. So I decided to go out with all three, just early in the beginning. But I need to sit down and rest. But um, it became apparent very quickly that my current girlfriend, she was just connecting with me a lot faster and really vibing with me a lot more. And the more I spent time with her and was around her, the more I was impressed. I've never had a relationship like I have with her. Not anybody. I've never had any relationship like I've had with her. I mean, I've never. And I have friends who've shown amazing love to me, and I'm sure a couple of those will be watching this video. One of my close friends in China, because of him that I'm able to be here and go to school. What he did to financially help me get to school is just absolutely amazing. And I really hope that I mean, I'm sure he is. He's been watching my videos, but the love and care that he's shown is ridiculous. But from a female relationship, whether it's like my mom or my sister or a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, I've never experienced the kind of thoughtfulness and love from any woman that my current girlfriend is showing towards me. That's how special she is. John Paul says, "My prayers for you, sending good vibes and energy for everything to just get better and better." Absolutely, I pray the same thing for you, John. Actually, you know what? Whenever I go to the shrine, um, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to offer two prayers. One is just my prayer for gratitude. One of the nurses asked me, she said, "You're not going to ask for anything?" Because she asked me what I was going to do when I leave the hospital. And I said, "First thing, I'm going to the shrine to pray and give gratitude." And she said, "What are you going to ask for?" I said, "I'm not going to ask for anything. I'm just going to say thank you. I'm just going to show my gratitude for getting better, getting out of the hospital, and still being alive and having another chance, you know." And she said, "You're not going to ask for anything?" She thought that was strange. But I said, "No, I just want to show my gratitude." And she kind of started laughing. She thought that that was interesting, but I guess she's thinking about it now. But the second thing that I'll pray for is all of you guys. The main reason is, once again, because of gratitude, to thank you for being here and supporting me in whatever way. Uh, the grocery I feel like the stamps is like a slippery slope. If I start doing that, then I'm going to get addicted. I'm going to have to start going everywhere. Maybe once I start shooting things with my girlfriend, she'll want to do that. And if so, then we'll do it. But we'll see, Philippe. We'll see. Um, yeah, uh, I I've been struggling with my channel because obviously the one thing is that I've been in the hospital and I can't go out and create new content that's directly related to my house and the cleaning of the renovation of my house and that sort of thing. So I've been adding uh, my old videos that I shot during that time that I mentioned to you before when I was living in Tokyo a few years ago, and there was nothing going on. I wasn't making any money. I wasn't able to really see anybody. Even the friends that I had, they didn't want to go out. Everybody was scared, you know. They didn't want to go out and meet. And I couldn't meet any women and go out on dates or anything like that. So I was just really, really isolated and alone. So I would just take my camera and go to some of these events and record them. And so I was feeling kind of nostalgic about that, and I decided to share them on my channel. And if you go back and you look at the views over my last few videos, it just seems like each video I post gets fewer and fewer views. It's like, you know, normally one of my videos about my house or whatever might get between 250 and 500 views within a few days or a week or something like that. And that's just kind of average. But the videos that I've been posting recently, it's like, you know, the highest was like 127 views, and then the next one was like 75 views, and the next one was like 35 views, and it's so discouraging because I realize that those videos are, you know, in Tokyo, and they aren't directly related to the Akiya Kominka aspect of my channel. But I did want to keep posting something that was related to me and my life. And it's difficult to be here in the hospital, especially how strict they are about me seeing people, because the few people that have come by, they don't want me to see them. They say, "Oh, you can't meet people, you can't have visitors, you know, they have to go, you can't sit down and talk to them, they can't come to your room, you know." And even the other day, Jason and Deborah, a couple of my awesome subscribers from Australia, they came to visit me, and we sat down at the cafe for a few minutes, and the hospital staff ran over because they saw my bracelet, you know, my hospital bracelet on my arm, right? And they ran over and they said, "Oh, hey, if you're a patient, you can't be seeing visitors, you know, they have to go." So they kicked them out, basically, which is nonsense, but, you know, that's their policy here. And a couple of other people had been by. Even one of my rural Inaka countryside friends that works out at the cafe and is one of the like managers or owners of the chicken farm. She knew I was sick. She found out I was sick. She came all the way from the countryside to visit me here. And heck, people have come from further away than that. I mean, Evelyn from Sweden, my other friend from Sweden, she took the Shinkansen over here a couple of times to not only visit me, but also bring me stuff from my house. She took the train all the way over from like North Kyoto to my house and got some stuff from my house and brought it to me here at the hospital a couple of times, including my mail. And Glenn came over here. He's from Australia. He was visiting in Okinawa. He flew over to Hiroshima. Originally, the plan was to come to my house and help me with some stuff there, but that didn't work out because I was in the hospital. But he came anyway. So he flew over to Hiroshima and he came and he got my van and drove my van out to my house for me because I was getting charged 1,600 yen a day for parking here at the hospital. So he took my van out to my house so that I didn't have to, or out to the cafe in Toyosaka, so I didn't have to keep paying for that parking. You know, as soon as I mention him, he comes in the chat, quietly wondering, and that's Glenn. Hey man, got home from the beach. You must still be in Okinawa. Um, but yeah, people have just been um, coming from long distances and doing so much to uh, to to reach out and help me. I've had friends in China send some money to me. I've had people in Tokyo doing things there to send me good vibes. I mean, my friend Koji, who makes the most awesome music, the most emotionally deep and meaningful music that I know of. He's been mentioning to his live crowd shows to keep me in their positive thoughts and vibes, and they yell out. He said they've been able to yell out my name to get better during live concerts. That's so cool, stuff like that is so cool. But um, just the extra effort that some people have gone to, and some of my friends back in the U.S. and extended family in the U.S. that have reached out to me and sent money to me and stuff like that. Um, it's just amazing. Overall, I'm very, very happy and lucky because if I hadn't left the U.S., a lot of that stuff, the majority of that never would have happened, and I wouldn't be here. So I wasn't happy in Louisiana. Louisiana has great food, and the LSU Tiger American football games at Tiger Stadium, they're awesome. I highly recommend those. So I recommend Louisiana for touring, but for living, not at all. Not at all. Maybe have some more comments here. Yep, 2 more weeks. Yeah, Glenn, in case you didn't get it, being discharged from the hospital tomorrow, or anybody else who came in late on the live stream, I am being discharged tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. So around 9 o'clock, I'm supposed to get some paperwork. It's going to have like my bill and some other things on it. I'll take that down to my counselor, and then together we'll go to the billing department, and we're going to work out payments. So that way I don't have to pay it all at one time, because the total amount that I have to pay is almost 200,000 yen. It's not something I can afford right now. So luckily, they told me that I can pay in installments. I don't know what those installments will be, or how much I can break it up, how low I can get those payments. But we'll see. If not for that, I'd be really in a bind right now, because I have to pay a lot of money to the school as soon as I get out of here. I have to pay my tuition application fee and all of that. It's almost 500,000 yen. So if I had to pay the hospital tomorrow and my tuition all on the same day, you're talking about almost 700,000 yen. All Anson says, all the best, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I have felt you guys love and support, and definitely will continue to do the best I can. Sorry I can't get back there to help out hey, bro, don't worry about it at all, really, because I mean that's one of the reasons why I've already ordered a gimbal, but it came in today, and I've decided to do some live streams. I'm not going to do it on this channel though. I'm going to do it on my other channel, my original channel, and the reason is because I really don't want to change the theme of this channel. I still want to make this channel primarily about what's going on in my house and stuff related to Akiya and Kominka. Even if I have to interview other people and go visit others and do interviews with them, I'm still going to commit to having that content on this channel. So I'm not going to change that. I'm going to stick to the Akiya, Machiya, and Kominka type, that type of related stuff here on this channel. But on my other channel, which you guys will see me start popping up in the other chats whenever you're in other live streams, you'll start seeing me pop up in there on my other name. It's very easy. You'll see it. Trust me, you'll see it because I put my name in the channel, but you'll know when I'm in there. Actually, I think probably if she sees it, Lemmy will know if I'm in her live chat. But that one is going to be the one that I do live streams here in Hiroshima and the surrounding area, and you'll likely be seeing my girlfriend pop up in those videos very, very soon. But I'm hoping that between online sales and YouTube success, and in the future getting my house renovated so I can rent it out, I really hope to have my own business going so that I can have a much better stream of income. Because number one, I'm in no shape to be working a job, especially teaching, because of the sitting and the standing and the going upstairs and stuff. Who knows when I'm going to be able to do that very well. And the renovation stuff at my house, who knows when I'm going to be able to do that very well. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of light grass cutting when I get home because I think I can manage some of it. But the heavy cutting I probably won't be able to do for a long time. Luckily, I did a lot of that already, so I'm happy that a lot of that crap is cut down and it's not growing right now. What's the visa status? Oh yeah, I explained all of that earlier, but in a nutshell, it all got worked out. And the way it got worked out was the school came to talk to me, and I'm going to pay my enrollment fee. And at that time, I will officially be enrolled in my school, and they will send a document to the immigration department saying that I am enrolled in the school full time, but I am on medical leave. And by law, that gives me 90 days to work on recovering myself so that I can go back to school. So whether, like I said before, whether it's just a couple of weeks or a couple of months, however much time it takes me to get ready to go to school, I can take that time to recover and get better, and then I can go to school. And whenever I do go back, the school will just place me. They'll do a test with me and decide where my level is, and that's where they'll plug me in with some other students who are in the same level. They said even if it's like super low beginner, which it shouldn't be quite that low, but if it is super low beginner, they said we can even do that. It doesn't matter. So they said don't worry about trying to catch up with your class. Just focus on getting better and come back to school as soon as you're able to. And you can't be forced by the government to go back to school because we've officially put you on medical leave. So it all worked out. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that I will miss some school, but how much I miss is a big question. It just depends on how fast I feel confident about going back, you know. Neko Achi, hey, what's up, guys? Great news. Yes, it is. It is great news. Thank you for stopping in. I'm glad that you were able to catch it. And actually, I mean, there's so much more that I guess I could say, but if you missed any of the main information, you can kind of scrub back. In the very early part of the video, for those of you who came in late, I just showed you kind of the view out here on this side. There's like the business center and all of that. And on the other side over there is the shrine, the castle, and the park. But kind of at the halfway point, maybe, of the video, I started talking about the two main things. One is my health situation and where that's going. And then the second thing was my residency status and school related issue and how all that got worked out a couple of days ago. In short, it was the school that worked with me, not the government office. The government office can suck it. I'm interested in how the schooling goes. It might be an avenue for me in the future. Yeah, it could be. It could be. It absolutely could be. And the cool thing is that if you look at an area that has a lot more options, that's even better, because I wanted to stay in Hiroshima, obviously, and I was looking for a place that was as close to my house as possible, which is why I chose Onomichi. Ultimately, I was kind of hoping to be able to transfer here in the city because my girlfriend is here, my preferred hospital, doctor, and counselor are here. But now, at some point before winter or by winter, I need to get an apartment in Onomichi. And the reason is because between my house and the school is some really high winding roads through these little mountains. And of course, you know what that means. That means snow and dangerous roads, and sometimes the roads get closed. So going to school and driving 5 days a week, not recommended. So I'm going to have to get a small apartment in Onomichi. I would love for it to be like an old Akiya. How cool would that be to get an empty old house in Onomichi to rent, so I could actually stay in something that would be cool, that I could record and talk about. But if I'm lucky, we'll see. Oh, Daniel and Yuka are here. Cool. Awesome. You guys, I think, are on at 4 o'clock, right? Daniel and Yuka? I think you've got a live stream around 4 o'clock. That's why I did my live stream at this time. I checked out everyone's live streams, and I tried to put mine in between because I didn't want to interfere with what anybody else was doing, and I wanted to be able to go and relax. After I leave the roof here, I'll go downstairs and rest in my room, and dinner will come around 6 o'clock. But until then, I'll get to relax, watch some videos, and check out your live stream. Oh, yesterday? The 4 o'clock live stream was yesterday? Really? Oh man, I've been too busy. But it has been a busy couple of days for me because I had the school to talk with on Tuesday, and I had a lot of stuff to work out and arrange with the doctors and stuff yesterday. And today, early this morning, I watched an MLB baseball game. It was a playoff game, so it was important to me anyway. Yuka did one yesterday. Okay. Kagurazaka. Ah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that name. Okay. And yes, Onomichi is beautiful. So I am looking forward to doing some live streams there. But like I mentioned before, I'm going to do that on another channel. I'm not going to do it on this channel because, like I said, I really want to keep this channel mostly connected to Akiya, Kominka, Machiya, houses in Japan, and stuff like that. As my health allows me to, I am going to also highlight some other people who've recently picked up houses or may already have houses in Japan that they bought and are renovating or have renovated, because it's physically much easier for me to just show up somewhere with my camera and take a tour and have a tour of somebody's house, ask some questions, and then put that on for you so you can see that, than it is for me to do my DIY stuff around the house right now, because even if I feel good, it's just not physically possible because of my leg. It's too swollen. So like I can't get down on the floor. I can't step up very easily. I can't squat right now. It's just too swollen. If that swelling goes down and my energy is good, then I can get some things done. But right now, I don't know when that will be. It could literally be days, weeks, or months. I don't know. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. But it's definitely easier for me right now to just um, get a tour of someone's house or do an interview or something like that and let you guys see somebody else's Akiya and renovations. But anyway, that's mainly it for the updates. The short thing is that pretty much everything is worked out. I'm not completely healed. I still have a ways to go, but I am going home. I'm leaving tomorrow. I'll spend one more night here in the city though, because my girlfriend is going to work maybe overtime tomorrow. So I'm going to stay in the city, relax here, go to the shrine, then stay at a hotel. And whenever she finishes work, we're going to get together. And I really wanted to go to karaoke, but she said, "Are you sure you can do that? You can go to karaoke? I mean, that's are you up to it with your health? And I was like, nah, I just, I've been here in the hospital for so long. I just really wanted to go sing. I just felt like I wanted to go sing and get out some positive vibes. That just I wanted to go belt out some tunes, but we might not do that if she has to work overtime. Probably just get together, get something to eat, and relax, and then she'll have to go on home. And on Saturday, I'll sleep late, and then pick up a couple of things on my way back to my house. I'll be back at my house tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Be back at my house Saturday, and I get to see all the grown-up grass around the house, and my neighbors will probably be surprised to see me again. They'll think that I fell off the face of the earth or something. But anyway, that's it for now. I really appreciate all of you guys stopping in to check out, even for a few minutes, the live stream. And for those who've stuck around this whole time, thank you so much. You're all awesome. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to post them below the video, or you can message me directly. Remember that I do have some tip links and stuff like that. I have several different options for that. Some people don't like to use PayPal. Some people don't like to use the with Koji link, and some people don't like to use the Patreon or whatever. But if you can support me in any way, shape, or form, it's appreciated and definitely needed and useful. But also, comments, email, feel free to reach out, and I'd love to see it. Until then, thank you again. I will see you next time, hopefully out of the hospital. And that's it for now. Hey, I missed my station. Going to take me another 4 hours to get home now. Oh man, 4 hours? Sorry to hear that, Philippe. Get comfortable, and there's a reason for that. Maybe you can have a good trip on the way back and watch something or get some sleep. I know how that feels, though. I've done that before. Coffee Sniffer, thank you. No problem. I look forward to your next stream. And next time, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you, and jane.